and Coulter during the Q&A session. And here's what happened. Listen to this.
So my first question is, can I give you a hug?
I wouldn't today. I'm recovering from the worst flu I've ever had.
It's okay. I'll take your germs. This undocumented immigrant who has lived in this nation for almost 22 years wants to, as a sign of my humanity and yours, recognize you and say, can I give you a hug?
No, let's get on with the question.
Okay. Thank you. So, and Joe Arpaio gave me a hug, by the way.
Think about that. What she's really saying is, I don't care what your arguments are. I'm a human being. And therefore, what you say doesn't even matter. What is that? Can I give you a hug? Because I want my borders defended, because Mexico militarizes their border. You are a felon if you enter Mexico illegally. If you enter Mexico illegally and you participated in a political demonstration the way so many illegal aliens did on May 1st after the House passed that so-called harsh immigration bill, had all these people in L.A., in Chicago, in New York waving Mexican flags. If you do that in Mexico, you have committed a crime. You are a felon. You'll be rounded up. All of which Ann Coulter talks about, I presume talks about in her book. I haven't read it yet. And this, quote, undocumented alien or worker comes up and says, I am a human being. My life has value. What is that for an argument? The world has 7 billion people. I dare say that most of them would love to come here if they could. Therefore, we should let them all come in? What is that? Can I give you a hug?
So my first question is, can I give you a hug?
This is the same level of, are you really black? Are you really treating me like I'm not even human? Are you really so cold and monstrous that you want your border secured when I'm in fact here? Are you really not a black person because you don't believe racism is a major problem in America? That's the only way they can win the argument, because you can't have a fact-based discussion. What if Ann Coulter said, name the country other than America where if you enter the country illegally and you're pregnant and you drop a kid, the kid is a citizen of that particular country. Name another country where that's the case. It's not true of Canada. It's not true of Mexico. Not true of England. Not true of France. Name another country where you can enter the country illegally, have a kid, pop out a brownie, and boom. And by brownie, I don't mean Latino. It's a term for, it's a non-ethnic term. Pop out a kid. Brownies in the oven. Name another country. So, and this was an audience of people, of young people. They look almost like a Steve Colbert, Bill Maher type audience. And they were silent because she gave facts. She gave information. She gave data. She talked about how other countries deal with illegal aliens. And there was nothing to say. And then when Ramos did this, and I thought Ann was very clever with this. By the way, Ann and I went to the same law school, University of Michigan. Go Ann, go blue. Ramos said, well, what about the people who are here? And Ann said, we stop the spigot right now. Let's deal with the fact that our borders are porous. We have no means of figuring out who's in the country who've overstayed their visas. We do that first, and then we can have a discussion about what to do with the people who are here illegally. When you are running a bathtub and the water has overflowed and there's water all over the floor, the first thing you do is cut off the water. Then you decide how you're going to clean it up. Are you going to use a mop? Are you going to use a blower? What are you going to do? But first you cut it off. Such a powerful and simple analogy. He had nothing to say. By the way, this same book was already written by Victor Hanson Davis called Mexifornia. We talked about the illegal aliens from Mexico coming to California and what they're doing to the culture, what they're doing to our educational system, what they're doing to our medical system, how much they're costing. And he says, I understand. I understand why an illegal alien would want to come here. Hell, if I were an illegal alien, he said, I'd probably want to come here too. That's not the point. The point is every country has to police its own borders. Every country has to determine its own immigration laws. And Ann Coulter pointed out that before 1970, our immigration laws pretty much tracked what our needs were for our society. But after that, it was changed to create a certain kind of tapestry where a disproportionate